What's up guys, my name is Ace, and yesterday, or early this morning for me over here in Norway, there was an interview done at E3 with some of the guys from Infinity Ward, and they talked a little bit about Modern Warfare. And in this, a lot of the information they shared was stuff we've already seen before in interviews, and you see it in articles everywhere. But one of the major things that they talked about in this interview was Spec Ops. It looks like Spec Ops is now confirmed to be returning to Modern Warfare, although we don't know for certain if it's actually going to be called Spec Ops, but we do know that's effectively what the co-op experience is going to be. In this interview, they described it as Spec Ops like you've never seen before. It's Spec Ops to the 11th power, crank the knob off, break it, and throw it away. So this seems to imply that they really took Spec Ops to the next level with this co-op experience, and I'm hoping it's also going to be a very replayable experience because of that. Because thinking back to Spec Ops from like Modern Warfare 2, for instance, those missions were a ton of fun, but I feel like once I got 3 stars, I think that's how they had it. I think they had like a star system. I can't even remember. But once I completed it on the maximum difficulty, I was kind of done with it. I never really felt like playing it again. I'm hoping what they mean by taking this to the next level and cranking the knob off and breaking it and throwing it away is that this will be a very replayable experience. Now, we do know this is going to be a co-op mode, but a few other questions arise from this. Will you be able to play through this solo as well? And also, will there be matchmaking for this, or is it only co-op if you get your friends to join? Personally, I do lean towards there probably being matchmaking for this because this is kind of the replacement for zombies this year. And since we aren't going to be having zombies, which they have completely confirmed at this point, there will not be zombies, then this is our co-op experience, and therefore there will likely be matchmaking. Now, another thing they mentioned within this interview is they said it can have a narrative this time, and the narrative goes across all modes. It's one universe, and it's all about consistency and continuity in all modes. So this is interesting as well. The Spec Ops missions from back in the day, they did somewhat tie into the campaign, but it was more like they just took a section of the campaign map and then created a scenario and threw you into it. Whereas this might actually add to the story, or it might have like a branch off of the story, something along those lines based on what they're saying here. And that seems really interesting as well. It would be really nice if they used this to really round out the overall story of Modern Warfare. Another thing they did mention is all of the weapons and equipment and everything will behave exactly the same across all of the modes. So campaign, multiplayer, and co-op, everything's going to feel the same when it comes to your equipment and the handling of the weapons and everything along those lines. I should also point out that it was confirmed earlier on that you will have the same level across all of these modes as well. So if you level up in campaign, that level will transfer over to multiplayer and co-op. And it's the same thing, if you level up in co-op, that will apply to your multiplayer level and your campaign level. It's one level for the entire game. Now, aside from that, we don't really know anything else about the co-op experience or this Spec Ops that's going to be coming back, but I am really excited to see what they do with this. Because I thought Spec Ops was a really interesting concept back in the day, but they never really took it further, so it's very exciting to see what they're going to do this time around. Now, before we wrap this video up, there was one other key thing from this interview that you may have missed. It appears on Tuesday, or tomorrow, they will be likely showing off campaign gameplay. Probably the same campaign gameplay they showed us when we were at the Infinity Ward studio a couple weeks ago. They will likely be showing that off at the panel that they're going to be hosting tomorrow. I will put the details up on the screen here and also in the description down below if you guys want to make sure you check that out and you don't miss that panel. But based on this interview, one of the devs, Joel, he actually slipped up a little bit and he said, like, I can't wait to show, and then he cut himself off. It seems like they're going to be showing you some stuff on that panel tomorrow. But with that, that's pretty much all I have for you guys in today's video. Of course, I'd like to know in the comment section below, what do you guys think about the idea of Spec Ops returning as the co-op mode for Modern Warfare? Also, any speculation as to how they're going to crank up Spec Ops and how they're going to make it better than it ever was? Just let me know what you guys are thinking down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.